Good Wednesday morning, Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. This weather video driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, 802 Honda, all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. Big broad picture, at least of satellite across the Atlantic Ocean. Main influences here, this kind of a cutoff low here. This is an old system. We have an area of higher pressure. It's expanding with clearing skies across a good portion of eastern Canada, and the southern areas anyway. This is another cutoff low that is going to be spinning away, and we're going to be kind of stuck in between these two influences, mostly with this area of higher pressure, with improving conditions really starting today, this Wednesday. Currently, we have a considerable amount of cloud cover still holding across the southeastern two-thirds of the state, but that's going to change as this weak area of higher pressure is going to enforce and then work its way a little bit off the coast and be centered either nearby. Currently, right now, it's just about over Montreal. This is our kind of a cutoff low with kind of a ridge of higher pressure that wraps around it, sort of influencing this surface high here. And then out west, we have a fairly sharp trough of lower pressure. That's been bringing in much colder air and trying to put the end, anyway, to some of the smoke that's been out and about across parts of California with some of the wildfire action. It looks a little bit better with this kind of condition here, as colder air is going to be working down the coast and into the western half of the country. And what that's eventually going to do is it's going to force temperatures a little bit higher to work its way into Vermont. Cooler temperatures across a good portion of Canada. Looking at the 500 hectopascal thickness and general flow here, this is our upper level system, and this is our area of higher pressure once again, Vermont. And you can see how the jet stream is really way up into parts of Canada. What's going to end up happening is this upper low is going to collapse a little bit. It's going to sort of weaken this area of higher pressure, and kind of a flow is going to be coming in off the east on as we get into mostly on Saturday, and a little less in terms of higher pressure aloft. However, this is going to build back into the region, and notably there's going to be a surface area of higher pressure kind of building in from the Canadian Maritimes, sort of with a ridge of higher pressure that extends west. And we'll see that on the other incrementals here, but you can kind of see where we are here. This is valid next Wednesday, and so the flow is such that most of the storminess, I'll just run the whole thing here. You can see that a lot more action is going to be going on at the Pacific Northwest, the northwest corner of the western parts of North America. A lot less and much more of a ridge of higher pressure and warmer than normal temperatures across the eastern half of North America. 1030 hectopascal surface high. It's located in the Ottawa Valley earlier this morning. This is going to be taking a track in the vicinity of Montreal. And it's going to hold precipitation at bay up until this coming weekend. This is where we have another area of higher pressure that's going to force come in from the Canadian Maritimes. And we're going to see kind of an easterly flow that's going to set up. Here we go. This is, you're going to start to see this on Saturday. There's our secondary high, and kind of ridging to the south and west. And little bits and pieces of moisture do get in here. This is going to be valid on Saturday. And it could be some minor drizzle or sprinkles in the far southern Green Mountains. Nothing major. And then this old system here is going to kind of fall apart as it runs into this high pressure system, this anticyclone. And so the net effect is that we get just a little bit of precipitation. We're talking generally very light amounts. And even if we handle these amounts here, I think it's going to be less. And we're into Monday, the end of the period now. You see this reinforcing ridging of higher pressure and another dry spell. And that is valid Monday night. That's into Tuesday. So we're looking pretty good here for a big-time dry stretch with a reinforcing shot of extended good weather, good project weather, as we get into the start of next week and into about midweek. GFS ensembles, what you can see here is multiple days. These are 12-hour increments, of course, but really precipitation very light, and the total amounts are fairly limited, as you can see here. Looking at precipitable water, overlaying that, a little bit of an uptick toward 1 to 1.1 inches late in the period, but limited amounts of precipitation to be expected. This is the Weather Prediction Center's 7 days of total QPF, and note here, just 1/100 of an inch or even drier than that. This is our 1/4 inch amounts, our 1/2 inch amounts, so we are looking at a deficit in precipitation for this period. Climate reanalyzer looks like this. We're going to focus on temperatures now. You can see just about almost coast to coast temperatures above normal, with some decent amounts of above normal temperatures right in the areas of it's like the northern Rockies into the southern plains and prairies of Canada. Western coastal areas being affected by that trough of lower pressure, and so forth. GFS ensemble 2-meter temperature centered on Montpelier, Vermont. Notice a little bit of a warming trend, then a dip down over the weekend, and then another warming trend. Now the European has this warming trend higher than the current one that's going to take place. It's a long ways out, but we'll see how that all shapes up. But needless to say, it looks like a little bit of the worst weather is going to be coming on Saturday and Sunday with the coolest temperatures, as a marine layer will kind of work in off the Gulf of Maine and penetrate all the way into the Adirondack Mountains. The MOS mean 5-day high temperatures look like this. We're running about anywhere from 6 to 9 degrees to 12 degrees above normal for this time of year. All of the colder temperatures are out west. And then about 3 days later, this is what it looks like. We're going to see colder weather start to work in the interior western sections, but still, as you get east of the Rocky Mountains, you're looking at some warmth. And again, this is 3 to 7 days out from the Weather Prediction Center weighted MOS temperatures. These are high temperatures only, about 6 to 9 degrees above normal, and a little warmer than that in northern and western parts of Vermont. Now the tropics are relatively quiet, but just wanted to call your attention to how warm, anomalously warm the Atlantic Ocean is here. You can see the Gulf Stream, the head wall of the Gulf Stream typically, and a lot of that is really warmed things up right off the New England coast, even into the Gulf of Maine and off Labrador and so forth, and just about all of the Atlantic is above normal. Just to confirm that, this is a National Hurricane Center's sea surface temperature map, and you can see we're running about 3 degrees above normal right off New England and some scattered areas south of Nova Scotia and so forth. And really everywhere from West Africa, the main development region, is still above normal sea surface temperatures. Gulf of Mexico's cooled down just a little bit, about 1 degree Celsius above normal across the eastern Caribbean basin, and so forth. Weather hazards. And so the only thing we have to deal with here is going to be this particular little disturbance that's going to be off the eastern seaboard, off the east coast of Florida. And that's going to be about it. So we'll be watching this particular region here. This would probably more or less go out to sea. But these are the areas to watch this time of year during the month of October and into November. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.